afternoon, guys. Welcome back to the channel. Back here at the shop, back with the Burnout truck. And as promised today, we're going to tear into the ballooned 4-point grate. Now, there was some confusion in the last video. We bought the truck with the blown. It was blown, but it was still running. It had a hole in the block. So we knew it was toast. It had to come out one way or another. We sent it off with a Burnout outside, and I think some people were confused and thought that it was just had low oil pressure and we blew it up, but that wasn't the case. It was already toast when we bought it. There was already a hole in the block. I mean, it was shooting oil out the side of the block in that first video we filmed with this. So wanted to clarify that we didn't just blow up a savable 4.8. I mean, it already had a hole in the block. So, but anyway, we're all past that, and we are back here today. We're going to tear into this and show you guys the carnage of the 4.8. And the Burnout truck needs to go outside. It needs to get pressure washed, all this grease out of here. And we're probably going to do that tonight because it's not too cold. It's supposed to get really cold in the next couple weeks. So we're going to get it cleaned up, and hopefully we've got a 5.3.
Hopefully I'll go pick it up tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm waiting to hear back from the guy right now.
But if I'm going ahead and ordering parts tonight. So I'll go here. Let me get everything situated in the shop. There's a hell of a mess from where Austin pulled this thing in one evening or afternoon. We didn't have the truck for more than 24 hours, and we pulled the motor out of it. So let me get straightened up here, and we're gonna tear into the 4.8, and I'm gonna show and explain the plans for the Burnout truck. Little hint: she's probably gonna be up and running in the next couple weeks. I'll pick up the camera in just a second. All right, guys, so before we start talking about the Burnout truck and the plans for the engine, interior, and trans, and stuff like that, one quick thing I want to go over. Some of you guys, and we're not mad about it, we just need to clarify it. Some of you guys have called Austin's business line number that's on his shirt that says Austin's Auto Service. Austin's Auto Service doesn't have anything to do with me or the channel. Austin helps the channel out and me out by doing a lot of the mechanic work around here in our shop that we share. The number that is on his shirt isn't this shop. It's his personal shop that he makes a living at, and he needs that line left over for business. Now, are you okay if they hit you up on Instagram and ask questions?
Instagram is perfectly fine. My Instagram is @its_Brandenburg, and we'll put it right here somewhere. But yeah, just please keep my business line strictly business. Instagram, you guys can ask me whatever you want. I'm actually shipping out these injectors for a guy this weekend that asked me. I don't have a problem with that. I'll talk to you about anything and help you out.
And he's the same thing like me. You guys, and if you've DM'd me before, you know I answer every single DM. I do my best to answer it the best I can, and if there's more than multiple questions, I try to keep up and answer them. Sometimes you may have to wait a day before I answer them. Same thing's going to go for Austin. Yeah. He's going to try to answer everything you guys have got. So you can hit us both up. You know, you can direct engine stuff to him if you want. You can direct it to me too. Either or, and we'll try to answer your question. But without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about the Burnout truck. All right, guys, so the plan is we're waiting on a message from a guy right now about the 5.3, and there's a good chance we're picking up the 5.3 tomorrow or this weekend. It just depends on what his schedule is like. It's a low-mileage 5.3, which I think low mileage is only, it's got 130,000 miles on it, but really for a 5.3, that's not incredibly a lot of miles. The plan is, and tonight I'm ordering parts tonight because I'm trying to get this thing back up and going in like 2 or 3 weeks. So tonight, I'm ordering a Texas Speed Stage 4 truck cam, 3,000 stall converter, new valve springs, and an oil pump. And that's all we're going to do to it at the moment. In the future, before Cletus and cars and all that, we may, and actually I say may, we probably will do the bigger Trailblazer SS intake manifold. That's the stock manifold that's on it that comes on like a 5.3. This is your big Trailblazer SS. You can see the size difference, and the throttle bodies are the same way. There's you a stock throttle body. That's your 90 millimeter. And that's actually going on the Cateye. That's not going on the Burnout truck. The Burnout truck may end up with an even bigger one because it's cable driven. It can be a little bit cheaper. That's the plan engine wise. Now exhaust wise, we're going to do long tube headers, and I might decide to use the Speed Engineering headers that were off the Cateye and get new ones, but I'll think about that and we'll see what goes from there. But either way, we're going to do long tube headers. Now, you guys are going to like this about the exhaust. The long tube headers are going to run back to the collector and go into a 3-inch pipe. And we're not going to the back with it. We are literally going to run it out of the bedside right there. I will literally take a hole saw and go right through the bedside, and we will have the exhaust diverted right there. I wish I could do it a little bit further forward, but this is all the cab. I can't come through the cab. So that's as far forward as I can get it out of the body. And the reason I want it to come out of the body is pure entertainment. This truck is being built for entertainment and fun and for the Cletus and Cars events. We love going to the events, and he puts on a great event, and we like supporting it. And, you know, hopefully it gives you guys an opportunity to come out and meet me and see. You'll like to see this truck in the Duramax. The Cateye won't make it, any of them this year. But the whole idea is entertainment. We're hoping to have a tune where potentially, and Texas Speed has, we've talked back and forth, we could be getting a little surprise part for this thing that could make it a little bit more entertaining, but we're trying to get it to shoot a little bit of flames. Whether in the Burnout box, off of a, I'll say it, maybe off of a two-step, if we can get it to work out. But the truck's gonna be pure entertainment. This is not a race truck. I won't register this truck. I won't drive this truck every day, so we're not after a nice show truck and all that stuff like that. This is pure entertainment. Now, while I'm talking about that, and speaking of not a show truck and pure entertainment, some people have been talking about swapping the Cateye interior here. It's not going to happen. This interior is extremely rough, and the plan is we are actually going to run a harness bar across the back and put racing seats in here. And reason being is when I get to whipping this thing around the Burnout box and I start slamming in the walls, I don't want to be sitting in the passenger seat after I hit a wall really hard. I want to be held in here and I want to be safe. And, you know, of course, I've got the helmet on and the neck brace and all that, but I think racing seats are a good idea for my safety. Plus, I think it would kind of look a little cool to have racing seats inside of the truck. Just kind of a little bit of added flair to the whole build. So, just to cap it off, because I know I've rambled on, we're starting out in the front, got a cam, new valve springs, 3000 stall converter, long tube headers, exhaust coming out of the bed, racing seats inside. That's about the end of it. And of course, we'll convert it to a Cateye front end. But hoping to have this thing running in the next two to 3 weeks. Just depends on when we can get the motor and get everything put back together. But that's enough about the plans for the Burnout truck. You can drop a comment or hit me up in the DMs if you've got more questions. Let's stare into that 4-point grate and see what's going on. All right, guys. So here is the 4-point grate out of the Burnout truck. Now, before I tear it down, let's see if I can figure out, was it this side or was it this side? The hole in the block. See it right there? Right there by the starter. So you can see where the bolt's broken out of the oil pan and all that. So something, we bought it like that. That wasn't caused by the burnout we did out there. The burnout, it just locked up. And what it was is there was no oil left in it. There was no oil pressure. So it seized itself up. And we bought it with the hole in the block. So we're going to tear this thing down. Now, it's going to look a little bit different than a 5.3. It's actually going to have flat tops in it. The 4.8s have flat tops for longer stroke. And they raise the compression in them to get the power they want. So without further ado, let's start tearing into it and see how bad the full grade is. Now, keep in mind, we're not using the 4.8. We've got a 5.3 that we're putting in the truck, so we're not rebuilding this. It doesn't matter. It's just going to the scrapyard after the end of this. We're gonna keep the heads and stuff off of it, but other than that, it's gone. Look at the buildup inside of the valve covers. Very nice. So we've got the valve covers, rocker arms off. The inside of the heads, I mean, it definitely looks like it's got 360,000 miles on it, but nothing so far. And while I'm doing this, because somebody's going to ask, because they missed the video of us pulling it out, the reason the torque converter is still hooked to it, the engine is seized. When we did the burnout, it seized up, so I couldn't turn the flex plate to unbolt the torque converter like you normally do pulling an engine. So I pulled the engine and the torque converter all together. You can pull it with the torque converter hooked to it, but you can't put it back in with the torque converter hooked to it. Not that you would want to anyway, because it would be really hard and you would definitely risk messing something up. Look at that little flat top 4.8. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. Where's your 5.3s back here? If you see here a 4.8, and of course it's a smaller bore too, but you got flat top pistons, they're perfectly flat. Now if you come back here and look at Austin's 5.3, a 5.3 is a bigger bore, but it's got dished pistons. And by dished, if you see here, See, they're not perfectly flat. They've got that groove that dishes in. And what that does is that's actually cutting down on compression because you've taken away some of the compression because it's got dish and it's not perfectly flat. So when you're coming up, there's a little bit of gap there from where it's dished in. So, pull the other head.
As we were sitting here taking apart this motor, I got a message from the dude that had the 5.3, and we can't go pick it up until Saturday. We'll be going to pick it up tomorrow by the time y'all see this video. And it's actually a good buddy of mine that has it, so
it's supposed to be a solid 5.3. It needs an oil pump. It's pretty low mileage. It's 150,000 miles. And as I went over before in the beginning of the video of everything that we're doing to it, you know, like I said, getting an oil pump and a cam and springs and stuff like that. I'm hoping that we don't have to do anything in the bottom end. And I don't really think we're needing to because just doing the burnouts, it's not like the Cateye where I'm going to drive it all the time. So as long as the bearings look good, we're going to send it, and maybe we'll rebuild it somewhere between the April Cleetus and cars and the November Cleetus and cars.
Wow, it's the first time I've ever had a dowel ping.
Oh, yep, there it is. Ready? Ready for this? Which I just pushed it down. That's your dead cylinder right there. So what? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cylinder 6. Yep, cylinder 6 is what gave up the ghost. I reckon, and I don't want to flip it upside down right now, but my guess is, I guess the rod either come out right there, or a piece of it, or it hit it and busted it out.
I guarantee you it's still connected to the crank.
No, I just pushed it down in there.
No, I meant the rod.
Oh, the rod down there. Well, the way it was knocking, boy, it sure sounded like it. Yeah, you guys saw the video of this thing knocking. It was pretty rough. Well, there you go. I mean, I'm not going to tear too much more into it because, I mean, that kind of tells us what we need to know. And this thing is nasty, as you can see. So
I mean, just this over here.
Yeah, it's definitely not worth trying to pull the oil pan. Oh my God, look at that.
So you can tell why.
This one, I'll probably take the starter, the harmonic balancer, the AC compressor bracket, because we actually need one for the Cateye.
Torque converter.
We'll take the flex plate, but other than that, it can get on with it. It can go straight to the scrapyard. I've got no use for it. Well, all right then. All right, so that is going to be about it for today's video. Like I said, I'm ordering parts tonight. We're going to have parts here next week. The motor, Austin's going and getting that on Saturday, so we'll get a video of the new motor in here and we'll tear it down. I'm hoping, I'm praying, and I'm thinking we're going to have that burnout truck running in 2 weeks. 2 weeks, hit the clock. 2 weeks from when this video uploads, we might have that truck up and going. And one thing I wanted to go ahead and say, the Speed Engineering headers, they look terrible, and I tried cleaning them up, and I can't do it. We're just going to put those headers on the burnout truck, and I'm going to buy new ones for the Cateye, because I don't even want to put those on there. So we've already got those here. We're going to use the heads that are on the 5.3, and we'll have the cam, the valve springs, and then the torque converter is the only thing that might hold me up. Reason being, Texas Speed says it takes 7 to 10 days to build one. If there's any hold up, it's the torque converter. We're going to have a completely built engine, I promise you, by 2 weeks and ready to go in, but the converter might be the thing that holds us up. So with that being said, I appreciate you guys watching. Like, comment, and subscribe. Drop any comments you got down below. Go follow me over on Instagram at Austin04_Z71. That side, I think it's that side. I'm going to get it right at the end of one of these videos. You got something to add?
No. We're all excited to get this burnout truck done, so y'all just stay tuned and watch the build.
Yep. All right, guys. Take care. Have a great day.